cost
Got
line.
that, Rolanda?
Sure.
All right, and that is all for us. Parish President's report. Mr. Kuig, do you have a Parish President's report?
I do, thank you. Let's see here. Parish President's report. I want to talk a little bit about the 4 propositions that are on the ballot in November, just to give some explanation. There have been a number of questions raised regarding the tax election and the 4 propositions. And I think they really give some credit to Mr. Percy on this. They really come down to these 3 areas. Are these new taxes? Why aren't we spending the money on roads and infrastructure? And do we need this new recreation and wellness center? And why would the parish build something that competes with the private sector? So, first question, are they new taxes? Proposition 1 is a request for a renewal of 0.5 mils out of what is currently a 2 mil tax that is dedicated to the hospital. This will be used for maintaining, operating, and improving the parish hospital. The hospital is giving up 1.5 mils of this original tax in order to build a wellness center and contribute to the recreation center in Proposition 4. Proposition 2, this is a request for a renewal of 1 mil out of what is currently a 1.5 mil tax. This is used for health service activities, the animal shelter, mosquito abatement, maintaining public health facilities, solid waste collections, disposal, the coroner's office, etc. The parish agreed to reallocate 0.5 mils in order to build the exercise and wellness center. Proposition 3 is critical. It's a renewal of the 8.89 mils that's used for maintaining our public roads and bridges. And then Proposition 4 is the reallocation of the 0.5 mil and the 1.5 mils, and that is out of the original 2 mils from Proposition 1 and the 0.5 mil from Proposition 2. And this combination makes up the 2 mils. There is no increase in the property tax rate for the parish based on these 4 propositions being adopted. And by the way, they go into effect in 2017, not next year. So, are these new taxes? I think we've dealt with that. Why aren't we spending the money on roads and infrastructure? And our current estimate is that the bond proceeds of this reallocation would provide insufficient funds to really make a substantial dent in the funds needed for an overall road resurfacing program. To put it simply, we'd only have enough money to make very few people happy and the rest of the parish mad. That doesn't mean we don't need to have a road program. And I think one of the challenges for the administration and for the next council is how do we come up with a program that's dedicated to roads. And I'm hopeful that we'll find another way to reallocate funds rather than adding to the tax burden. But we simply made the judgment that there wasn't sufficient money available to do a real road program. So, let's see, 3. So what's the typical cost for a homeowner? If you live in a $75,000 or less house, your homestead covers it, you pay no tax. That's true of the new tax as well. There are 571 residences in our parish that are below the homestead exemption. If you're in a $175,000 house, you've got a net of $100,000, means your assessed value is 10. That means you pay $20 per year for the health and wellness center and the rec center and so forth. If you're in a $1 million house, you still get the $75,000 exemption. Your net's $925. Your total tax bill is $185. The other thing that I looked at was for landowners. Say you own 1,000 acres and you're at the highest timber value, which I found interesting, is predicated on soil content, not the timber themselves, but the soil content. And the highest value there is $38.67 per acre. So you have an assessed value of $38,000 and your millage is 0.02. That means it costs you $77 a year to contribute the 2 mills for the hospital to do the wellness center and for the park to do the recreation center. So what are we talking about? This is a view of what we're calling the Recreation and Aquatic Center. That has a really nice splash park out front. It has an 8-lane indoor swimming pool. It has some locker rooms and so forth. And immediately adjacent to it is a multi-purpose gymnasium that provides for year-round practice and games. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to enclose and air condition the existing basketball facility, put a new surface on it so that we can have more use of that during the summer months when it's pretty hot to be out there. We can use it for practice. We can use it for community events. Like, for example, last year we had the pilgrimage had to move to the park, to this facility. It's going to have roll-up doors and HVAC so that we can actually have a really nice facility. Public safety can use it in the event of an emergency that causes a number of people to be put out of their homes, like a hurricane or tornado or something along those lines. So this is one of the uses. And let's see, these are the 4 propositions. This is an informational piece that's being sent out to the parish in the next day or two, and I know a number of you will be getting questions. It basically talks about this is the present tax rate, this is the new tax rate, and we anticipate there'll be no additional charge to the tax and what it supports. It supports a number of social service organizations, this new facility, wellness and so forth, and so that's my report. This is what's going to be on the ballot in the next election, and obviously we stand ready to answer any questions people have about the specifics of it, but we'll be putting information out. We're trying to get the word out that it's not an increase in tax, it's simply a renewal and reallocation, so that we're using the same amount of money, doing some new things with it, trying to make some things happen for the parish. Thank you.